Oh, yeah, hi. You know, not too long ago I watched two movies and I thought it's probably about time for me to review them. And the first one is Mortal Kombat. And we're killing zombies in the next movie I watched, Army of the Dead, coming up next on Carrie's Corner. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me back here on Carrie's Corner. And today we are, in fact, reviewing two movies I saw a few weeks ago. And the first one's going to be Mortal Kombat, and then we're going to segue into Army of the Dead. But first, just keep this in mind, this review is going to have spoilers in it, and I'm going to try and make it as fast as possible, not really getting too long-winded here. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to have like a spoiler alert warning over here somewhere, but be that as it may, let's start off with Mortal Kombat. Okay, so Mortal Kombat. Excellent. I do have my handy dandy notes here so I don't botch anyone's name up, but that's going to happen inevitably. And just give you some little facts. For example, the movie came out this year, and as of me making this video, it's done $81.3 million on a budget of $55 million. I think the watermark in Hollywood is it has to do basically 3 times the amount to be a overall financial success. But, as of the last line here, it has grossed $81.3 million worldwide and became a streaming hit for HBO Max, being its most successful film launch to date. So, this movie actually is on HBO Max. Again, does take a subscription to watch it. Now, let me get into basically the plot of the movie. Here's where the spoilers come in. So I'm going to try and, make all these reviews as quickly as possible so it's not, incredibly long. So this movie starts out with where you see Sub-Zero come into, I guess, the person that will soon be Scorpion, his little community, and him and his army just basically wipe everybody out, including his wife and son, and he fights him. He being Scorpion fights Sub-Zero and ends up dying and going to hell. Okay. Now this movie is based primarily on the video game that came out a long time ago, and so the plot starts off with, like I said, Sub-Zero killing the guy that's going to end up being Scorpion when he makes the deal with the underworld, which I guess is technically their hell, to come back as Scorpion and avenge his family. Okay, so it's entertaining as far as the fight scenes. The one thing that I didn't quite get a hold of or grasp was that in my brain, I'm comparing it to the original film that I saw in 1995. And I know you can't really do that, and you're not supposed to, especially with a reboot. You're supposed to just completely forget what you saw before. But the problem was I really enjoyed the 1995 film I saw with my buddy Keith. What's up, Keith? And I really liked it. It really made you understand a little bit more of the backstory of some of the characters, especially when you played the video games. And it centered around the main protagonist, which was Liu Kang, and how he went against, Shang Tsung and through the Mortal Kombat to defend our realm of Earth. This movie really doesn't do that. This is almost like a prequel where it's getting everybody together and to train for the Mortal Kombat. So even though the title says Mortal Kombat, they're not really like in the competition called Mortal Kombat. They're just getting everyone ready and prepared for it. Does that make sense? So you're not really seeing like the competition, so to speak. You're just seeing them all come together and banding together, and some of the fallouts like Kano. You think he's a good guy, and you think, wait a minute, but Kano's a bad guy, and then of course he does betray them in the end. So the one thing I did like about it is that for the most part they used almost a lot of no name actors, and what I mean no name is I don't think they're overly recognizable. I think they did a pretty good job as far as developing the characters. Hiroyuki Sanada, okay, so he was in a lot of films like the 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. He was really good in that. He played a small role in the Avengers movie Endgame. But like I said, I think for the most part it was great that they took actors that you're not really keen of seeing every day. One of my pet peeves about Hollywood, and I hate this about Hollywood, is they tend to recycle actors and actresses. Why they don't do open casting calls and just get the right actor or actress to portray that part perfectly versus trying to get, like, hypothetically speaking, an Angelina Jolie and trying to transform her persona into portraying that role versus finding the perfect person for it. There are literally millions, of actors and actresses out here just in Southern California alone trying to make it. Why you wouldn't have an open casting call for 2 or 3 weeks to find the right person? They will go watch the movie just to see that character versus seeing a recycled mainstream person playing that role that might already be typecast in your mind. So, but anyway, I digress. Then they also created this new character. What was his name? Cody? Cole, excuse me. They made this new character named Cole, which isn't in the video game and really doesn't have a backstory. Where, again, I'm used to the 1995 film, which had Liu Kang as the main protagonist, and that made sense because in the video game and the backstory, that's who the technical hero was. But here they made a whole new character and really pushed this person to be the hero of this film. Kind of reminds me of other films that I saw. Let me see.
Finish her.
Let me see. The Star Wars sequels. Look, you got plenty of source material. Use it. You know what I'm saying? So in this Mortal Kombat movie, we have Louis Tang, Jessica McNamee, Josh Lawson, Tadanobu Asano, Makad Brooks, Ludi Lin, Chin Han, Joe Haslin, and, as I had stated before, Hiroyuki Sanada. Now, there were some things about this movie that I liked better than the original back in '95. This movie actually kind of explains how they have their superpowers. Because remember in the video game, when you're fighting someone and you get their health all the way down, there's always the finish him. And then you usually have some super ability that allows you to kill your opponent, right? Well, they really never explain that in the 1995 version, and you never really see it. Sonya Blade has got certain finishing moves. Liu Kang has certain finishing moves. All the characters do, right? So, they kind of explain it in this movie, which I think is, better. And you actually see some of the finishing moves, which I think was, a little bit more intuitive as far as explaining how these characters are able to do some of those great feats while they're fighting. The 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, was it entertaining? Yeah, I mean, you can say that almost about any movie. Would I want to see it again? Nah, I've seen it once. It's okay. I know they're making this out to be like a trilogy kind of thing because, again, they didn't show you any of the tournament. It was kind of like them getting everyone ready for the tournament. So when the movie was over, you're like kind of scratching your head like, huh? Where's the tournament? And again, creating this new character. So, I mean, ultimately, is it worth watching? Sure, if you've got nothing else better to do. I don't recommend it. If you really want to see a decent Mortal Kombat movie, I like the 1995 version better. But don't watch the sequel to that, which was out, I think, in 1997, which is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But anyway, Mortal Kombat 2021, okay movie. If you got nothing else better to do, it's on HBO Max. Check it out if you want to. If not, you're not missing a whole lot.
Fatality.
Next up, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. That just came out not too long ago. Watched it. It has David Bautista in it, who obviously is Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought he played a really good role in it. There's a lot of different Ella Pullman, Omari Hardwick, Anna de la Regura, Theo Rossi, Matthias Schwarzhofer. So Army of the Dead, in the great world that we live in of Fear of the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead and all these zombie apocalypse things. Look, I love that stuff. I really do. So when I watched this movie, it was a really good take on it. Primarily, here's the plot of the movie. There's a army convoy that ends up crashing, and there is a zombie inside of it, and he gets out and kills all the soldiers, and then they become zombies, and they happen to be right outside of Vegas. So obviously they crash Vegas, and they turn all of Las Vegas into like a Zombieville, okay? So what they do is they quarantine all of Las Vegas and confine all the zombies within Las Vegas. So it kind of sucks because I actually like Vegas. But anyway, so they confine all the zombies in Vegas, and they have actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, they have Hiroyuki Sanada from that I just spoke about in Mortal Kombat. He's actually in Army of the Dead. So here again, he's in both films that I'm kind of doing a review. So he hires a team to go into a casino's vault and take money because he's already been covered for the insurance. So tells them to go in there and steal the money out of the vault, and it's basically theirs. Excuse me. And but of course they got to get through all these zombies. Okay, so they all decide to do it. Now, these zombies are a little bit different than most of the other zombies that you're used to. Like, I'm used to zombies, brains, and they're slow moving, and they're not very intelligent. If you remember the movie World War Z, I think it was with Brad Pitt, those zombies are like super fast. They like literally run after you. They're basically like that. But even more intelligent because they have like a caste system. Like they have like a lead or a head zombie. I guess they called him Zeus. And, he had like a wife, and he rode like, a horse and stuff. And I'm like, what? It's so, you're taken back. Like all these, these zombies have almost like a caste system and, hierarchy system. And, you kind of think, okay, well that's kind of weird because you just think that they're just going to be walking around. You just have to either avoid them or stab them in the skull and kill them. So that was kind of cool, how the take on that. But there was a lot of like empty questions, like why did the army have a zombie in a convoy? Like, where did he come from? I didn't quite understand that. And then there was just a lot of like unanswered questions as far as why they're doing what they're doing. I get that they're doing it for money, but yeah, it's they're you have to really watch it to really understand it. But there was a couple editing mistakes, like for example, they killed the one girl on a rooftop, and they're taken off in a helicopter. So they're off in the helicopter, and the zombie or the Zeus guy that kills the girl on the top of this building somehow gets down the building on his horse and rides just as fast as a helicopter that's already taken off like 3 minutes ago. So there's a lot of like really weird things there. But I don't know. Was it gruesome? Yes. Was it entertaining? Yeah. I mean, it was entertaining. Do I really need to see it again? Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I don't like movies where you don't walk away from it feeling good. So, good triumphs over evil. yeah, maybe that's overplayed a little bit, but I guess when I watch a movie, I want to feel like the good guys won and things like that. You don't really get that from this film. So just keep that in mind. If you want to see a movie that has a lot of zombies in it, that is gory, and a lot of unexpected deaths, like, when the team goes in, obviously, that some of them are going to die. And I'm not going to give away the ending, but I'm just going to tell you, like, you're like set back with some of these deaths. So, like I said, there's a lot of unanswered questions, head scratching things, like when when the credits roll, you're like, okay, wait a minute, some of this stuff doesn't make sense. Maybe it's not supposed to. It's a zombie movie, for crying out loud, right? It's not going to win any Academy Awards. But kind of like Mortal Kombat, if you got nothing else better to do, go for it. If you're one of those zombophiles and you love zombie movies and you watch Fear of the Walking Dead, or you watch The Walking Dead, go for it. You're going to love it. I mean, the gore is great. It's a different type of zombie, like I said. But at the end of the day, you got nothing else better to do and you just want to kill some time and watch some zombies and guts and stuff like that, this would be a really good film for you. But kind of like Mortal Kombat, would I need to see it again? No, not really. I've seen it. I've done it. That's about the end of it. So anyway, that's kind of my take on this one too. I hope everybody out there is ready for summer, because I am. And it's never too late to start being fit, even if you're not ready for summer. You can't give yourself another excuse to put off a day of fitness. And remember, there is no such thing as a bad workout, only the one that you don't do. So go out there and do it. Remember why you want to get fit and stay the course. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me here on Carrie's Corner. And until next time, be fit, get strong, stay healthy.